when you talk about understanding the psychology of people and why, their responses or they react the way that they do, a lot of the times people feeling like they have to go overboard to say no is from a places of like feeling like unheard or invalidated, like
that's a good
not
point.
not necessarily having your no respected. Yep. And so now you have to feel like you have to overcompensate it, and that's the only way that you're heard.
The difference between being a boss or a worker is, you're being stern, direct, and the word no is a direct instruction. No, that is not acceptable. No, you're fired. You still can be feminine and do that. Why did they have to adopt the
majority of women are not bosses? They're not.
The majority I think they are
not.
There you go, Marcus.
I don't think not having an education is synonymous to being feminine, though. I think they're two different conversations. So there are educated women that are feminine. There are non-educated women that are masculine, and you can swap that around for both. So I don't think that they're.
I didn't say anything about education.
Oh, I was answering Shantae.
You described the young lady who you said was on her high horse, right? And she
what I said was that are in positions of authority or title. Positions of title is what I used.
Right. So that's not majority of women, though.
It's the majority of women in my environment.
Okay.
In our community, it is. You could be a supervisor at Walmart. You think you're a boss. Let's just be honest if we gonna talk about it.
I mean, technically,
you run people.
Run.
Wait. You literally supervise people. You're a boss, right? So you definitely bringing that home with you. Not to mention you got kids that you supervise. You're a boss. You're definitely moving in your masculine boss.
Look,
but I just want to say,
I see
oftentimes they adopt a lot of the same masculine traits that we exhibit, and the truth of the matter is, Brienne will actually. I would say all four of you get further in that space, staying in your own frame. I assure you will get a lot more done and a lot more accomplished, and. I'm not talking to you ladies on the panel. I'm actually using you guys as the example.
Right.
So I'm speaking in general. You get a lot further than trying to match our energy. You have your own energy, and it is powerful. It's
very yes.
And I'm telling you, I would move mountains for you for it. I really would. I'd move a mountain.
Are you talking about femininity?
Get that out my way.
That's what I was going to discuss.
Let me just say this. I object. This sounds great in 2023, but as a woman who has always been a feminine chick all of her life, that did not work 10, 15 years ago when Miss Independent was on the scene and y'all all wanted that chick who was the chick, to cuss you out. That was not always popular. Y'all are not going to sit here and
whoever desired that.
Listen, maybe I don't know where you were raised.
Chicago and Illinois.
Listen, I'm not saying this is for all men. Because there were a group of men who always had their head straight. But let's not act like 10, 15 years ago, men did not want that chick with the, I have literally been told I didn't have a backbone. I mean, I asked because for the sake of podcasting, I have asked my mistake. Was even there when my son explained to her why it did not work out between me and his dad, because he told him, and what did he say?
He said that your dad said that he could walk all over you.
I compromised. I was the chick who, if you say go, I'm like, hey. To me, I was that chick where if it did not deserve an argument, I'm not arguing. This is the most. I'm glad I'm in this space because I like to go back and forth because y'all give me my arguing skills.
Right.
That's why I don't do it good. When people be in the comments, they like, she needs to, because I'm a bad arguer. I don't know how to do it. I don't like to do it often. So my anxiety gets up, my heart beats fast. I don't even know how to do it right.
So the fact that I would say something like that, if I was knowing you, then I would say, you know what? And I say a lot of people that I work around too, because in healthcare, is dominated by a lot of women. And what I always find is that whenever somebody comes to me with the same exact thing that you're saying right now, I let them know. I said, I'm gonna help you out real quick. Those situations, that thing is gonna keep on happening because that's something I feel God sees in you that you need to work on and be stronger in. So no matter how much you try to avoid it, you're gonna always run into somebody, whether it's your mama, your daddy, your cousin. Somebody's gonna do something that's gonna test you in that way. And yeah, you're gonna. I mean, it's gonna happen because they know that you kind of you don't like conflict. I rather take the hurt, take the pain. I rather take all the pressure and everything because I don't want to say something that I think might offend you. So I'd rather just not. And that's a dangerous place to kind of be in a lot of times.
Get out of here, Ronnie.
I have a question because this is what always kind of confused me. Because I always, in my opinion, every one of the previous girlfriends that I fucked the relationship up with had similar energies. Not only like I would have sex with a different type of girl, but I was going to always marry a specific archetype of a woman, right? Why is it that women can't maintain their femininity and just use the word no and still have the same exact femininity? Why do you have to adopt a new energy?
What's the example?
Just say no.
Just say no.
That
to
is
what?
the example, right?
To say no
Anything.
to anything. No. If you're in a position of authority, the difference between being a boss or a worker is, you're being stern, direct, and the word no is a direct instruction. No, that is not acceptable. No, you're fired. You still can be feminine and do that. Why did they have to adopt the nigga? You ain't did mother. You why?
It's the know what I'm saying? All you had to do is say,
that's love. Oh my God.
It's a learned trait to communication skills are a learned trait. Interdependent relationships it's a learned skill. And so when you talk about understanding the psychology of people and why, their responses or they react the way that they do, a lot of the times people feeling like they have to go overboard to say no is from places of like feeling like unheard or invalidated. Like
that's a good point.
Not necessarily having your no respected. Yep. And so now you have to feel like you have to overcompensate it. And that's the only way that you're heard. And so, it's a learned skill to be able to be like, no, thank you. And know that that's enough for you. Like, I don't need it to translate over to you. I know what it means for me. And that's enough.
There's a balance. I think there's a balance.
I want to say to any lady that's watching, your secret power is silence. Say no, and then don't say nothing else. People can only work with you if you're working with them.
But you can't in the household. You gotta follow the lead. You can't say sometimes the man that won't let you say no, right?
I'm not talking about
final say. No, but I would say femininity is actually a superpower.
Look,
you play that game, I guarantee you won't like the prize.
It's a joke.
And that's what I was about to say too. Because when you said that, hey, look, Marcus, when you said that, did you hear Shan gonna say that when women get like that, when they get all like this, that's passion? Come on, man.
Listen, let me just tell you, it's the pack. No. If I get to the point with my point, so I'm a different Shantae in the workplace. I can do very well. Like if I have no emotion attached to it, I can get in your skin. Like I can cut the best of the best. When my heart is involved, it's like, like I suck in relationships. I wish I can take that backbone I got in the real, like it's the school or and put it in my relationship because then I will probably balance.
But this is what I want to tell you too. This is what I want to tell you too, though, because when I'm glad you said that word, man. The universe provides. When you use that word balance, right? Because one thing, like even with my lady, right? I'm very transparent about my life, right? My lady can be more feminine, right? We both grew up on the west side of Chicago, so she from L-Town and I'm from Cabrini. And we just got it in us. You know what I'm saying? So, right? So she can be more feminine. Ironically, though, when we horizontal, right? Femininity flowing out. You know what I'm saying? It's and all that. Even everything is everything is so feminine, right? But then when we vertical and we standing up, it's all this aggression. You know what I'm saying? It's like bro, bring that same thing you do doing fellatio. Bring that to when we having, conversations or arguments. You know what I'm saying? Bring that same soft, same, I hate to use the word dainty because I don't really know what that means, but it just sounds like it fit right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, bring that same daintiness to our conversations, especially to our disagreements. Because when you go into West Side L Town version of yourself, then I go into Cabrini Green West Side version of myself, and now I'm in handcuffs. I ain't mean to call y'all. It's just like the whole thing just went all the way left because you don't know how to control your masculine energy. And I'm so glad that whoever, I think that was the other brother AP that mentioned this too, real quick. And I'm gonna yield the floor. Ladies, this verbiage, this slogan that y'all use, I'm matching your energy. It's a death sentence. You got to stop that. That is the worst thing you can do. Why are you trying to match a man's energy?
And
that is the worst thing.
Anyway, heart attack, cardiac arrest, you're gonna kill yourself in the process.
Well, I mean, you think about it as men anyway. We already just because our testosterone and everything, we already have a competitive nature anyway. So men, I mean, I don't know if you guys, I don't know how to explain this to you guys, but I talk about this amongst my colleagues in the medical field, and I said, you know what? It's weird to me, and y'all probably gonna be thinking like, what is this dude talking about? I don't have nothing against people's lifestyle. If I see two women walking together and both of them are feminine like, and they can be lesbian, I don't think they're nothing. When I see a woman walking with another woman and the other woman is butch, for some reason I feel like I would knock you out. Like, come on, stop it. I'm serious. And when I say this to my colleagues, they're like, yeah, man, I see what you mean with that. Because the thing is, I feel like what you're trying to do is where I'm at, and you're not going to be able to do that. So stop. So what I'm saying that for is that, like, when he was just when a little podcast was talking about them saying I'm gonna match your energy, well, already the fact you're even trying to come up there and be like that with us, we competitive. And so even if a woman is at her max of trying to exert some type of masculine energy, that might be like our minimum. But the fact that we coming at y'all a certain way, y'all might feel like, oh, so what you about to hit me now? I would call, are you about to hit? Like, it's not even that serious. But the fact that they're even trying to get up there with us, it automatically makes a man want to buck up because we take it as competition. We take it as competition from other men, let alone a woman.
Wait, really quickly. So since you're in the medical field and we got 4 women on the panel, and this question isn't the diversion, it's right where we at right now, Shan. I seen a video from Joe Rogan the other day where he said that women have more estrogen in their bodies than men do, but they actually have more testosterone in their body than they do estrogen. That was the first time I had ever heard that. I looked it up, Googled it. A couple of websites said that this was actually true. So when you add that element in with melanin, right? Which I'm not gonna lie, I'm a white person in this way that I view melanin as an aggressive, you know what I'm saying, like dominant gene or serum or whatever it is, right? The more of it you have, the more violent it's capable of you to be, right? But do you think that plays a part in the fact that particularly our women can be more aggressive, that in fact they actually have more testosterone in their body than they do estrogen?
Let me just real fast, before you answer this question real fast. It's so funny that you said that little podcast, because I was thinking, even in sports, Black women seem to tear that shit up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, look at Simone Biles. She's doing things that they're like, only men can do that,
right, or
when you look, think about it on the sports, like we just be killing men, kill it, and also the women. So sometimes I've thought about that too, little podcast. I'm like,
mad aggression.
Black folks just got this little bit of sprinkle of
yeah.
No, I was going to answer. It disperses differently in women. Our bodies are different. So when it comes to that particular hormone, I had to get that check to get pregnant, because you need that for reproduction. Yeah, because it all the chemicals kind of work together to make sure that the baby can actually develop and stay put. So that's what it's mostly supposed to be used for. But sure, there's some amazing athletes that tap into that part to get strong and train well and have stamina, but that has to be trained. So the part you're talking about as far as having more, there's a reason why there's more in there, but it's not supposed to be used in that way.
So if I was to guess, before you answer, let me just guess. So if anybody smoke weed, right? THC and CBD, you can get high as you want off the THC. Then when you add the CBD, it brings your high down. I'm guessing that estrogen operates like CBD to the testosterone.
Very interesting. You could be right. I didn't look that up.
I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm not no doctor.
I know what you're saying. Well, medicinally though, I would say this: it's a whole lot of things that actually can factor into it. Brienne just made a really good point there, and we can take it back to like when we had to do a rotation. We had to study why a lot of military women who seemed to be healthy on paper, everything checked out right, but for some reason these women that's been in the military, they were barren. You know what I mean? They were barren. So what we end up finding out is this: if you keep on doing a whole lot of things when it comes to physicality, you will increase your testosterone levels. Your testosterone will war at your estrogen and take it down. And so these women could not get pregnant because that testosterone, once it gets to a certain level and it's high, you can try all day long, all you want to. But if that estrogen, that hormone is not up, it's not going to happen. So what we're saying that for is that, we have nothing against women getting into certain type of fields of like, sports or even like the military or like the fire department. But the reality of it is, if they continue to do those things to their bodies, the bodies is going to respond by producing more of that hormone to keep them at a certain level of fitness. But that also can end up messing up their estrogen levels. Now, what the body would end up eventually doing is the body would actually adapt to how it feels you want to be. So let me give you an example. We have people that come into the clinic a lot, young men, especially as new, that we call it text neck and gamers back, right? So because these guys do like this all day long and they sit like this all day long, they come into our clinic. If we sit there, I'm gonna give y'all look, I'm gonna so y'all can see me. If I sit them up like this and correct their posture, they can barely hold it for 30 seconds. They end up going back and collapsing like this. So what happened is the reason why it is because the body will actually adapt to how it feels you're trying to be. So if you sit all day and you're in your phone all day, your body will conform to that. So if you constantly are doing all these physical things at that high of a level, your body's going to eventually go, okay, so since we want to keep this testosterone level high, let's just go ahead and just eliminate the estrogen altogether. And it will actually start to shut things down. So then all of a sudden they end up developing, cysts on the ovaries and fibroids and the whole nine, and all these different feminine issues come up. But men who continue to do the things they have, no issues there. So it's not to throw no shade at anybody, but I always say, and I always lean on this, I say nature is not going to lie to you. It's not going to. So as far as women having higher testosterone level, a lot of stuff plays into that. More women that come in there through their files, a lot of them are on more medication than a whole lot of other men because of anxiety. Then they got to actually take something else because the anxiety medication can actually end up weakening their muscles and weakening their heart. So therefore they got to take prednisone or some type of steroid that's going to actually make that muscle work, which is going to increase the testosterone levels, which makes them have more in their system.
Gymnasts.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's why I heard like gymnasts. A lot of times that they're because of the training, the amount of training that they do, that their cycle stops, stuff like that. So I did hear about that before.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I always said that women should be working the way they do.
MRM. You know where I got this information from? It made me have such a.
It's right back to housewives.
You know where I got.
How we could get that?
Was that not a really good answer?
No pushback.
To try and dissect that. You know where I got it from?
What's that?
My fucking melanin. Because look, my hair, it grows towards the sun. The sun imputes information in me, and it just gave me the answer, bro. I'm just saying. It just gave me the answer.
Do you have the THC and the CBD in your system right now?
Can I say about healthcare? Yeah, we were still kind of on the topic of like healthcare and hormones. Someone had put in the comments that married men live longer, which the studies, I would agree to that, because typically the main component of that is someone else holding you accountable for your doctor's visits and if you have an ache or pain. But on the opposite end, divorced men have the shortest life expectancies for all those other reasons listed: heart attack, sickness, stress, drop in testosterone, and then financial issues, which equates to them also, again, not going to the doctor. So again, you can say married men live longer, but the second that marriage ends, everything drops.
Hey, babe, if you leave me, I'm gonna die. That's what they just told me. Hey, look. So check it out. So check it out, Brienne. I had a L4 and L5 surgery.
Okay.
My Renaissance understand this. The jelly between my discs, it eroded and it started to cause like tension on my nerves. And then it started to break apart the bone and it started pinching my sciatic nerve. So I became partially paralyzed. My wife been loving on me and fixing me these good meals and making my life stress-free. I swear to God, my body feels A1. So I believe it's true. Niggas get married. Stop being single. So you don't die. It's simple. You want to live? Get married. I'm just.
Bro, what you sipping on?
I don't argue with you at all on that.
Again, the CBD and the THC stir.
Find you a Brianna or one of the other ladies on the panel and get married and enjoy the femininity. That should give you.
Find you and Shantae when she responded to when I said, remember when I said, look, that lady might not be the perfect one to send that message, and Shan was like, nah, because I agree with that message too. And I just want to say that we can follow leaders. She went into her Southern Belle, you know what I'm saying, voice thing. Hey, that's how you get them. That's how you get them right there.
And meanwhile, your wife brought you food. My husband sent me a text like, whenever you want to eat, the food's downstairs. You can come get it.
They got some hamburger helper.
Yum, yum.
No.
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you.
It's beef caperatini with I forget the name of these damn noodles. Hey babe, could you